Hello trail finders, welcome back to the next video. In the previous videos, we have spoken about the before and after triggers, and we have written some before and after triggers as well. I've been talking about trigger.new and trigger.old. So let's understand what trigger.new and what trigger.old is. So first thing is, we need to understand the before and after operation and what all types of operation are available in before and after operation. So we have in before, you can have before insert, before update, and before delete. And in after, you can have after insert, after update, after delete, and after undelete as well. Technically, there could not be anything before undelete. If you talk about logically, you cannot do anything before undeleting a record. You can only do after you undelete a record. Undelete is basically your record is lying in recycle bin and you are bringing that particular record back into the database. So that's before and after. Now in our code, you would have seen I've been using this trigger.new. So what basically trigger.new is, so all the records which or a record, so all the records or a single record which has triggered this particular trigger on the account object or any other object. This trigger.new contains that list of all of those records altogether. Now there are two things. One is trigger.new. So new is basically all the new changes in that particular record. So if that record was already existing in the database, all the new values to all the fields in that particular record are stored inside trigger.new. And similarly, there's another value which is called trigger.old. So trigger.old contains all the old values inside that particular trigger. So trigger.old would be the values which were as is from the database before the transaction happened, before the save button was pressed, or before the DML happened. Whatever the values were there in the database, that would be in trigger.old, and whatever is new would be inside trigger.new. I hope it is clear. The difference between new and old is clear to you now. If that is clear, we'll move on to the next topic, which is understanding what all is available within new and old. Along with this new and old, there is a new map and an old map is also available, which basically is, so, if we go back to our developer console, so trigger.new is a list, whilst trigger.new map is a map. So what difference between the list and the map is, so the list is like this, and the map that you would get would be map ID and the object on which that trigger is running. So it would be like this. So ID is always the record ID, and account would have the complete record itself there. It is used a lot. So sometimes you would need to use a map. Sometimes you can just do with the list. It totally depends on your logic, what you need to use, whether you need to use a map or you need to use a list. Now let's see what all is available on what particular operation. So when we are doing before insert, only new list is available. New map, old list, or old maps are not available. Why? Because this is the time we are inserting a record into database. So there's no database value available already for it. So everything is new. Hence, you can only have a new list. You cannot have a new map because before it is being committed into database. So we don't have the ID as yet. So you cannot have a map on ID where you don't have an ID available as yet, right? So all you can have is a new list and nothing else is available for a before insert transaction. Then we go for before update. That's where you have all four available. So you can have, why? Because this particular record is already available in the database, and hence it can have an old value. It has an ID, so it can have a map as well. So old list, old map, new list, and new map. All of this can be available for an before update transaction. Before delete, so there's nothing new about any, there's no field value that has changed in delete. So hence new values are not available. Only old list and old map are available because we are completely removing that value from the database. We are deleting that particular row from database, right? And undelete, nothing of this is available in a before transaction. Why? Before, because in before, undelete is not available. Hence, nothing is applicable here. I hope this is bringing some clarity in your thoughts. Let's talk about after. So after insert, now that we have ID available for our new record, which is being inserted, So we would have new map available. Why? Because after is before the first commit to the database, and that's when the ID is generated. So we have the ID available, hence we have the new map available here, which was not available in the before transaction. So we have after insert new and new map available. Old is not there because this is the first time record is going into the database. In update, we have all four available. So new, new map, old, and old map all are available. Delete, same as before, only old values are available because we are not changing any field in the record itself. And undelete, only new and new map are available, nothing old is available because there's nothing old in the database. We are just reverting it back to as is. So just the new values are available. Take a screenshot of this particular section and keep it handy because this is very, very important. Whenever I used to write triggers, I always used to refer it back. When you write triggers, you need to understand what particular list or maps are available and how can I build my logic. So this is very, very important and keep this handy. Wishing you all the best in your Salesforce journey. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.